Compassion, empathy, understanding. These are all characteristics that happen when your hearts are open. We're trying to show you how to connect to your mind before you can connect to your heart. And when you have that love for yourself, it makes it easier for you to love those around you. And that's part of the purpose of Conscious Light. Once you learn how to connect to your mind, open up your heart, you can share that light consciously. And like I tell a lot of you guys to do, once you start to heal your own self, you have the power to heal those around you because you've been through that journey on your own personal level. And what we're trying to do here in this 6-week period, it may not seem like a lot of time, but a lot of these tools you can carry with you for the rest of your life that will allow you to continue to grow and make a difference in your community wherever you're at. So why is it important? The world needs to change. And if we work on shining the light within each of our own hearts, I promise you the world's going to be changed right there in an instant. Our goal is to pretty much make you better than when you were when you came into this room today. You know, to show you some tools that can help you alleviate your stress and anxiety, help you understand why you feel the way that you do, so therefore you can move forward making the best choice possible to help you grow.
When I get angry, I hold in like a lot of like the anger basically and put it to the side. I don't really recognize how I feel. So I would change that.
Loving myself for who I am, not for what everybody wants me to be. So that's kind of what I'm working on.
Being mindful and being aware of my body and what I'm dealing with and how my body acts towards something. Like I need to be aware of myself and my outsides and know when and when not to react to it.
I mean, right now the only thing I want to change is the way I act towards new people, like the way I handle meeting new people.
Well, I thought I wasn't good enough, I guess, like for people, but they showed me that I am. So like, you know, like if I wasn't smart enough, but I am though. Because some people, you know, try to make you feel bad about yourself so they can, you know, have more power over you. So that was the thing.
The basic underlying philosophy of K.Y.D.S, our goal, our purpose, our mission is to prepare and create future leaders to holistic interventions. And they may say, what is holistic interventions? We mean by focusing on the body, mind, and souls in natural, simple, practical ways that could be utilized by anybody, any place, at any time. All right, so close our eyes. I want you to relax your shoulders, relax your jaws, relax your legs. Try to eliminate all the tension. And just begin to breathe in softly in through your nostrils, allowing the air to fill up your stomach. And now I want you to spend this next breath is shifting all of your awareness, all of your attention to the soles of your feet. Feel your left foot grounded against the earth. Feel your right foot grounded against the earth. Not engaging any thoughts, but shifting your consciousness to the soles of your feet.
I'm going to call this new life, you know, because when you open up yourself to new possibilities, maybe a new purpose in life, maybe a new way of seeing life, and maybe a new path in life. But you're opening up, you know, to things that were previously closed. And for you to open up at such an early age, sky's the limit. You know, they are able to see a life they may not have seen before. You know, you start to open up your inner being, your inner self, and your outer self opens up as well, because you start to see things a little bit differently. You start to see your community a little differently. You start to see the possibilities in life, in this universe, a little bit differently, because you realize that your potential is limitless. Yeah, mindfulness, I mean, what is the only moment we have? Right now. You have yesterday? Can you control yesterday? The only moment we have is right now. That's the only moment. So there's a misconception around mindfulness. In Eastern philosophy, they think of the heart and the mind as one, intertwined. So we hear mindfulness, we hear mind, right? We're controlling our mind. But it's really about observing our senses, the touch, the sight, the hearing, the taste. So it's just removing the thought and just feeling, bringing it back to the essence. So mindfulness, being in the present moment, letting go of the past, as I've heard a lot of you doing, which is great, and not anticipating the future. Sometimes we get anxiety over the future. Maybe you have something big going on tomorrow, but your anxiety is right now. I believe the first step in healing a community so deep-rooted in trauma is separation. Separation from the outer self to the inner self. Understanding that your circumstances around you, all the traumas you've been through, the community, whatever may be going on, the drugs, the gangs, that is not me. Anybody ever hear of separating your thoughts? Separating from your thoughts? Anybody ever hear that? I do that during my practice, is asking myself questions. Why am I feeling that way? Why am I thinking this way? Where's my mind going right now? So when my mind starts to wander, I ask myself, why? I ask myself why to the why to the why to the why, so I finally find the answer. I may never find the answer. But to separate your thoughts from your emotions.
The trauma that we experience, the trauma that we see in our community each and every day affects us whether we want to admit to it or not at a deeper subconscious level. So our goal is to help them face that in a calm, peaceful, relaxed state, in a relaxed place where they feel safe and comfortable by learning the meditation, the mindfulness, learning the deep breathing to help regulate the nervous system and help them become aware of the thoughts and the chatter that's coming up in their head and create some space where they can realize that at a deeper level, are these thoughts really who I am, or are they creating an idea within me that's causing me to feel this certain way? When you have those thoughts that come up within the moment, you have compassion for yourselves. When you're in the yoga posture, you might have been like, man, how long to hold this pose for? Oh man, this is painful. But to accept what's taking place in that moment, because when you accept that moment, it changes how your brain is wired to accept other situations that may be of difficulty. So when we have the compassion, it allows you to have that love for yourself. You don't criticize yourself anymore. You don't put yourself down in a negative way. You learn to have that compassion, that understanding, that understanding to accept what is taking place in this moment, to accept what has happened in my past, those things that I cannot change, to continue to move forward and grow. That makes sense to us all? Good. So the mind and the body are deeply connected to one another. And when you can relax the body, it makes it easier for you to relax the mind, and vice versa. And you'll start seeing how, through your own personal experience, how this will allow you to be more at ease, to be at peace and calm, okay? Why I think this is really effective, because as I'm growing older, I looked at things more as I wouldn't say so, a more spiritual perspective, but as I'm getting older, I'm going more of a scientific approach as well, because that's what gets people to buy into what you're speaking about. Mindfulness and the brain. Do we all have a brain in this room? I hope so. Society tries to turn it to mush, but here as the Conscious Youth Development and Service, we're trying to change that altogether. So, why the brain? Our brain serves as a map showing us how we learn and why we act the way that we do. Knowing how our brain operates will teach us to react differently, okay? Instead of going through the same patterns that we aren't aware of, those habits that we created that we didn't always do intentionally, we can learn to reverse those habits, some good, some bad. But keeping the good, like studying is a good habit, you know what I'm saying? But doing other things where you snap and tear up your whole house when you get angry, that's a bad habit. And it's like, how do we learn to act in those moments opposed to reacting, okay? So, the limbic system, all right? The 3 parts of the limbic system that we're going to break down today that are very important to mindfulness and helping you understand how your brain operates, okay? Number 1 is the amygdala. The goal is to keep our amygdala relaxed, because we have these 2 parts on our kidneys called our adrenal glands. And when we trigger our amygdala, some people get adrenal fatigue, is where they're always constantly stressed. They're always on edge. They're always angry. They're always full of anxiety. And these are things that don't allow us to function properly.
When you get angry, you have to realize, why are you feeling this way? What can you do?
if you think, like if you start thinking like too much about things and start making it turn negative, then you just think back at the program and then you be like, well, what can I do to, help myself in this situation?
One of the problems I had in the past as growing up is not being aware of how I was feeling and then having a quick reaction towards everything. So after the workshop, it kind of made me come of a more understanding that I can't react so fast and I need to breathe and calm down and think about the things and how my body is reacting to certain stuff before I be quick to go after something.
It's like really like just calm down and think.
We've been filled up with a lot of distractions in this country, from the technology and all the other advancements in food and medicine, and it's clouding us. We're walking around with all these, we're mindfuls instead of mindful, and these are the techniques that are taking these distractions out one by one. All the stresses, the anxieties that come with the technology especially, and the music, the entertainment. It's the things that it's almost like a computer being defragmented. You got to clean it out every once in a while. You got to clean your car out every once in a while. We as human beings, we don't take the time to cater to ourselves and to clean ourselves out every once in a while. So I think it's these techniques that help us recharge and get back to our essence of who we truly are.
We're going to start off in a comfortable seating position at the top of your mat, either cross-legged, or you can bring your sit bones to your heels and sit. So when you are on your mat, it's really all about you and your journey and what you want to get out of this. It's really an opportunity for you to let go of anything that's happened through your week, your weekend, and just an opportunity for you to restart. All right, so we're going to take a big breath in through the nose and exhale through the nose. And as you do, closing the eyes, bringing the hands down beside you. On your next breath, I want you to maintain your eyes closed, but bring your hands to prayer heart center. And bowing the chin down towards the chest. And taking a moment here to say one kind thing to yourself. Giving yourself a compliment for being present and being here. Your practice doesn't expect you to show up happy. You can arrive with a jumbled mind and a heavy heart. Your practice could care less if you can touch your toes or meditate for hours. It asks simply that you show up.
These tools are really effective and they can really make a difference in our kids and ourselves today. And that was one of the main reasons why we decided to go about making this program, because over my time in my life I've learned so much, and holding it back is almost, I feel, selfish, but showing kids that a way that might free them from their pain and their suffering and allow them to share that with their fellow brothers and sisters, that is one of the main goals of why.
Shining your light consciously means like if you're happy and you smile a lot and you're very cheerful and you talk to people with a light tone, it will affect that person and they'll be happy too and they'll share that with other people. It's like a chain effect.
What I've learned is at the program was very useful. I mean, I listened this time, and I kind of been more aware of my surroundings and more aware of myself. So I would like to keep these things going so I can grow a lot more better and become the person I know I can be.
I mean, I'm still not very nice to everybody, but I'm nicer than I was when I started it.
I've, grown up from this, learned new things and how they support me so I can know better myself. It's pretty much it changed my whole life. Like, you don't want to be that girl on the block, you know. So it really changed me. I could have been like in jail or something, but they, you know, saved my life.
Well, if somebody was to ask me, was to tell me that they're thinking about joining the program, I would say, please do, because it will really help you. Like, it will give you a lot of knowledge and really help you in the future, dealing with people and with yourself, basically.
Kids, so I believe sky's the limit right now. The whole community has supported us. So what's next for us? You know, I think it's continuing our impact.
I feel as if the universe is constantly just rearranging the room to how it wants it to be, building the room over here instead of putting it over here, and we're just being open to what comes in, still being grounded in what we want to accomplish, but not being set in stone that it has to be this way, because what we think they may want is not what the community is going to need. So we're still just kind of just feeling things out. But overall, it's having the youth center, having the platform to provide these services at a deeper level, having community cooking classes, partnering with locations like things at the food market, Wegmans, different places that we can really build upon what we have right now to uplift the consciousness of the people. That's the ultimate goal, is to make them think at a much higher level, higher state of awareness, so that they can make better decisions, not just for themselves, but for the people around them.
K.Y.D.S is a really great program. It really helps you. It really inspires you.
I would definitely recommend this program to any of the youth. It teaches them a lot that even school or, you know, their social surroundings won't teach them.
It helps you learn things that you didn't know, and it'll help you like deal with your feelings.
It is a learning experience, and it can make you learn new things, make you a better person, you know, and it can actually change your life.